Hey, okay. Uh, um, so I watched, like this video by, Jesse Gender that, um, it was, I forget the title, but, it's like about, stories, I think stories that like, um, they like fight against fascism, and they're meant to be like kind of creating hope and like and non-traditional like storytelling kind of yeah. And I was listening, and like yeah, I think the premise is kind of like countering like or attacking like certain political or like yeah, like attacking people who or like people who say speakers that I guess stand for like harmful beliefs or yeah, like argue for like harmful things. Attacking them is like kind of not enough. It's kind of, I mean, that on its own is leads to basically recreating that kind of struggle for power, I think, which kind of doesn't make a stable foundation for progress. And I was listening, and I kind of just had this growing like notion in the back of my mind where I knew that there was like a certain really strong like pull towards like, I guess, attacking or yeah, like just attacking or some, yeah, like people who represent or say certain things that, yeah, just like expressing that anger, I guess, and that kind of thing, like taking a more aggressive approach to react to these forces, these movements, these people. Sorry. And I thought that yeah, it was kind of difficult internally to kind of detach, or I don't know, like just knowing this, that I basically kind of rely on the battle kind of like yeah, like that kind of reaction, or that kind of content where where somebody's getting like very harshly criticized. I kind of rely on that to feel secure, or like feel in some way, I don't know, that there's just like something in it, you know, like I mean, you yeah, okay, yeah, but yeah, it's like knowing that or feeling that way in parallel to like listening to the message that basically that's not the way, like that's not the path, like yeah, kind of, I mean, I know that's true, I know that's correct. I just kind of had this kind of reaction of like, this feels like a slight disappointment, I guess. And it kind of got me thinking. I mean, I think one part that really like kind of spoke to me was I think yeah, I think the film that Jesse Gender talked about in the beginning is called like I Saw the TV Glow, and she said something like yeah, basically it requires somebody becoming who they really are, who they know themselves to be, to truly function, and suppressing that, and in order to be more, I guess, valued, like according to like the culture, is causes I don't know what to call it. I don't know. I forget the word, but like it's kind of like causes decay. So I heard. Sorry. So I heard that, and I really like kind of recognized it. Because I also kind of have this sense that like there's this part of me that I feel for some reason I can't really express and it's kind of hard for me to even imagine like kind of embodying it outward. Like I don't know what that has to do with like what I who I am. Kind of, yeah. To me, it's just more like a feeling or an instinct that I feel, but yeah, just kind of like it's just kind of there, like internally. Even though I know it's like kind of in conflict with my the identity I've been trying to live up to, and sorry, I think someone just came home, but right, okay, yeah, and so anyway, I guess that kind of like realizing that kind of nudge kind of pushed me towards an idea that like maybe in a way I feel like there is some like reward in winning against people I hate, but yeah, like there is some reward in that, and I really like, yeah, the pull is pretty strong, I think, or like the emotional reward, kind of the emotional like motivation to have that is like pretty strong, and it was kind of like helpful to think in terms of to like take that notion of like this is what I want, and this is what I'm motivated to seek out or like want to experience, and think that that living the rewards of life are kind of, or like the enjoyment of life actually it's kind of there's like potential for different, for like a more for an actual sort of more original and more creative sort of path, trajectory where life's rewards will come from actually living what I instinctively like want to be, like, you know, embodying that and expressing it, and having that be my individuality, and the possibility of like finding an equal kind of enjoyment in that, as compared to like a more culturally mediated kind of dominance, I guess, like, you know, like verbally attacking someone kind of thing. And I kind of scrolled some of the top comments, and I kind of forget what this comment was. It was like I think somebody kind of expressing something not really the same, but like also this consideration of they should choose to they should try, or they should consider to choose to be more open, be more like aligned, or I don't know, be to like expand outwards into life, and it's kind of counterintuitive, because like both these things to me feel self-enhancing. Like theoretically, it's like expanding outwards and expressing myself is like self-enhancing, but also dominance feels like self-enhancing, but they also feel the opposite. So just like kind of sensing that kind of discontinuity, where it's like, in this frame I could say one is like there's like a good one and a bad one, but there's also like this moral kind of it's like the usual, how I usually think of relate to like morality is kind of turned on its head, kind of it's a kind of inconsistent with like how I'm like kind of used to relating to morality, where morality seems to be more like it's meant to correct me, kind of, or like correct, it's like a corrective thing. And so it's strange to think that I can embrace myself and not have that be in essence different from how I might experience like dominance, even though it's in this case like the moral implications are like dominance is negative, and expansion and like expressing individuality is like positive. I might experience both as like having a similar motivation for myself, and in terms of I want to enhance myself, like I want that like self-enhancement, so in terms of like how I relate to that morally, like how that morality relates to me, to the self, to me as an ego, is like the same, but on an impersonal, like non-ego way. These two options are like, one is good, one is bad, basically. Okay, so that's interesting, and kind of got me thinking, like there seems like in regards to that sense of disappointment that I might have felt, and like this feeling that like I needed to in a way like it's like disappointment, or having to accept some kind of boredom in order to like listen to this video and maybe not watch something else that might have more of that dominance like flavor is something that I might experience as like boring or like kind of empty, I guess. It seems in that case that I'm kind of reacting to a lack of like aggression. And I know in psychology there's I think in psychology or like psychoanalysis maybe there's this like notion that somebody's aggression can be expressed in healthy ways, can be coped with in healthy ways. So I think they call this like sublimation, I guess. When aggression is like gets enacted in positive ways or socially beneficial ways. So I'm thinking like it seems possible that this process of like embracing individuality and expanding the self can actually assist that process of being more of like integrating like aggression, and it can be expressed in ways that that don't really follow like the kind of like violence and dominance, or like the kind of violence and I guess attacking or hurting somebody. I don't know, like the kind of violence that typically aggression is understood. Because I think just like thinking about culturally, aggression seems to be at least like under like the kind of power relations, I guess, or like dominance relations. That's kind of just there in the culture is like aggression kind of manifests or is represented in this like typical like violence way or like dominance in a particular sense. And I think there's this possible development in terms of one person or like me or just somebody like I said, like sorry, like I said earlier, like the like I assume supposing there are like two sides of like the desire for like domination and the desire for like self-expansion and self-expression or like embracing the self is like they have like both are like self-enhancing and one is good, one is bad, and so I think there's like the possibility of like achieving the rewards of of like cultural dominance that's like culturally like um, culturally reinforced, maybe that perpetuates the this culture and like structure of like dominance in a more traditional normative way that I think it's could be said to be negative. There's a possibility of like, I guess, achieving both of those, like both like self-expression and the assertiveness of that dominant side, basically having it be like a more creative individual kind of idiosyncratic original sort of aggression, like yeah, like that doesn't necessarily perpetuate kind of violence that's just like very represented in, or stereotypical maybe, and or like often reproduced in the current culture. So I think that would be interesting and rewarding, hopefully.